Hi and welcome back to the show. Well, if you're in business and you're looking at your superannuation, looking for flexibility and better costings, which makes you more money, stay tuned because we have got an expert coming in the studio to talk about that very, very soon. Hi and welcome back to the show. Well, I promise you self-managed superannuation and much, much more. Ian Gath McKinley Plowman Plus, how are you?
Very good indeed. Thanks for having me on.
It's very, very exciting. I mean, there is this trend to self-managed super funds. That's the reason I asked you to come on the show today. But before we go there, a little bit about your history. I mean, how did you get into accountancy? And, is there a difference between the type of accountancy work you do as compared to other people?
Sure, absolutely. So my history is I've been an accountant now since the early 90s. Kind of fell into it after having dreams as a kid of doing something different and fell into it. And it's been a progression working in international practices, large international practices, and working as a consultant specifically in areas of superannuation and estate planning.
Wow. And I understand sometimes you're a bit like the rest of us. You've got some children, they tend to come in the office and work.
Oh, my daughter's in the office at the moment scanning for me, so she loves coming into the office actually, and the guys in the office love having her in there. So yeah, it's really good. I like it.
The reason I brought it up is because sometimes you think of an accounting practice is quite stuffy and very formal, but McKinley Plowman and yourselves, you seem to be more got that family feel about it.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that. Is the partner's kids have grown up in the practice.
Yeah.
So one of the partner's sons works in the practice in financial planning. It's an environment that's conducive to having the kids in. We like it.
How does that work with clients? How do clients receive that type of atmosphere?
It's more relaxed. It's more relatable. Clients feel like they're just like us.
Yeah. Wow. And yourself, so you went into accountancy, you said you fell into it.
Yep.
I'm intrigued of how you fall into accountancy.
So I originally started out with a subsidiary of Colonial Mutual back early days.
Oh.
And from subsidiary of Colonial Mutual, I then went to Asgard, and I worked with Asgard and large superannuation companies like that. Then I moved into public practice in the late 90s, early 2000s, and again worked for international brands back then. And then I started to specialise in superannuation and specialise in audit and then specialise in estate planning. So in 2004, I started to head up teams and it's kind of a progression from there.
And here you are now.
Yeah,
it's just for the people watching, the difference we understand accountancy, a lot of us understand accountancy is, and what I call compliance work, your tax returns and the basic stuff that goes on in the background. But that's not your area of specialty, is it? You're outside of that. You're more of a, would I be right in saying more of a business consultant, business growth strategy?
Kind of, yeah, absolutely. So we do compliance and
Yes.
we do tax returns and we do all of that kind of work.
Mm.
For my area of expertise, it's more about delivering a specific piece of advice to a client that's going to help them financially, could help them in death, could help them in retirement.
Yeah.
It's less about the transaction and it's more about the relationship that I have with the client.
Right, so it's less than just the day-to-day stuff, it's more the future and protection and creating wealth for clients.
Absolutely.
Talking about creating wealth, a lot of us know about self-managed, well, we've heard about self-managed superannuation, and I guess a lot of people tell you a lot about self-managed superannuation. The facts of sort of some of the basic differences between going to a fund that will look after your money and having someone like yourself and your team that you look after these self-managed funds.
So let me explain. The big difference is rather than one of the big companies acting as the controller of your fund, you're the controller of your fund. You then seek out the professionals and the advice givers to go and invest your money in the fashion that you want to invest it in. You can make then ethical choices as to how to best invest, and you can perhaps react to markets differently at the same time. So it's more immediate, it's more flexible, it's cheaper, and it's not really that hard.
You said an interesting point there about ethical way to invest. What do you mean by that?
So some investors and some mum and dads may not like superannuation fund money going to offshore to invest in certain styles of assets,
Right.
such as alcohol companies. So we can ensure that assets are structured so they're not in those kind of investments, giving the investor a better ethical choice.
Is this the same as when I've heard people saying, I'm making a choice to invest in environmentally friendly companies?
Yes, absolutely.
So do you build, like, am I getting the picture now, you can build portfolios for people and you say, well, here's some of your environmental stuff and here's some of your ethical stuff. And
Absolutely.
How does it actually work with yourself? How do you decide this stuff?
Okay, so we have a team of specialist financial planners who are investments consultants within our practice, and largely all the investment structuring is out-farmed or outsourced to them. So I get involved with a client about other transactions such as when should I retire? How much should I need to retire on?
That's a good one.
What's going to happen to me when I die? What will happen to my superannuation fund when I die? What about my kids? I get involved in that side of superannuation and less about the where should I put my money. So we have specialist consultants on investment planning, and all of our investment consultancy work goes specifically to McKinley Plowman financial planning.
So when people are looking, do you get people in your firm now, because we're traditionally running on a very, very low interest rate at the moment, do they get concerned that, look, if I'm doing it myself, I may not get the best money, I might be losing money?
That's a great question. So absolutely. And if I look across our standardised portfolio within our superannuation funds that come from in financial planning, we're outperforming the market significantly. So it's a case of horses for courses. It's about what is the right investment profile for you. That could be, am I growth, am I balanced, am I conservative? So picking the right investments based on you as an individual and not necessarily about trying to outperform, what's over here in Australian super or whatever it might be.
Chasing trends tends not to work, does it?
That's exactly right. Let's work on you and what you want, and then we'll go and structure the investment portfolios to suit you.
It's interesting you're saying, I know it's a little bit outside your field, but I'm getting the pictures that McKinley Plowman also then research the market and understand where things are going. We hear hype of, you should invest in lithium, but, I've looked at lithium and it's like, who do you pick? There's so many. But they obviously must have a team that is looking and going, okay, where is the best returns coming now?
Absolutely. So within McKinley Plowman, we do lots of different things. So let me explain. We have financial planning.
Yep.
We have pension transfers, so UK pension and state pension transfers that we deal with. We deal with financial matters of borrowing. So we have a financial mortgage broking team. We have our traditional tax accountants that do nothing but mum and dad tax returns.
Yeah.
We have tax and business services. We have business improvement. We have bookkeeping services. We have superannuation. We have estate planning. Yeah. So we cover kind of most of the things within the financial services industries. Where we've been very, very well placed in our market is having specialists in those teams.
Like yourself.
Exactly like me.
Now, you head up a team, don't you?
I do. I actually head up 3 teams. With
3 teams? Well, what else can you be?
So we have superannuation fund accounting that we do for self-managed superannuation funds, and that encompasses a lot of advice. And I'll get back to that if I can.
Yes, yes.
We also do self-managed superannuation fund audits for practices. So when an accounting practice might want to have their audits done, they're referred to us, and we look after about 6 or 8 practices.
Wow.
And they're all relationships within my network of clients. Then we also do estate planning, which is my favourite area to work in.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So estate planning is great. It's, if I can break it down really simply, estate planning is nothing but ensuring that my assets go to the people that I want to in the most tax effective way. And it's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that. Well, talking about that, you mentioned a minute ago you wanted to go back to the superannuation.
Sure. So we do a lot of advice and structuring. So different to asset structuring and setting up clients' investment portfolios, we do a lot of structuring such as, I want to buy a rental property in my superannuation fund. How do I do it? Do we go and get a borrowing to buy? So we use the superannuation fund to leverage and go and buy assets within the fund using a limited recourse borrowing arrangement. This isn't something new. It's been around since 2007. But a lot of people aren't aware of it and how it works. So in the last 12 months, we've structured a number of commercial properties coming into superannuation so that the members of the fund can actually rent that property back from the superannuation fund. And it works very well for the business. The business gets the deduction, mum and dad are happy.
Wow. That's when you're looking at and your diversity of clients, what do you find the challenges around running 3 portfolios for starters and then running the challenges around the diversity of clients that you have?
Sure. My biggest challenge is making sure that I'm out seeing the people that need my advice. And my biggest challenge is being able to deliver it to the people that need it the most. In international practice, you don't get that opportunity. Whereas working for a smaller, really driven practice, we can deal with mum and dads who are the people who need our advice the most, not the international companies who make trillions of dollars. It's the mum and dads who need the will structuring, who need the help with their existing superannuation, who might need help in, their individual tax or their borrowing or wherever it might be. That's what I like. That's my biggest challenge, and I like being able to overcome that.
I'm sure you must get people come to you sometimes and go, I'm in a mess. Can you help me out of the mess?
Do you know, it's funny that you say that. We do see that. And it's not just limited to mum and dads. It's accountants that come to us and say, I'm in a mess. What do I do? Help me, please.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I go to work for those kind of moments is, what do I do? I'm not sure. Can you please give us some advice?
Why do you think it helps? I mean, people would be listening going, geez, an accountant comes from an accountant. Why do you think they come, and what is the benefit of talking to an outside person like yourself?
Fresh eyes, I think, and it's areas of expertise. So I run my own business, obviously, with McKinley Plowman. And as a consultant with McKinley Plowman, I don't do my own personal tax. I actually give that to the accountants. That's not my area of expertise. So I go to them for their expertise. They come to us for our expertise. So it's, if you want to know what deduction you're going to get for your car, sure, I can probably help you, but we've got a team of experts. If you want to specifically know something about how to structure your will, come to us. That's where we can deliver you the best advice.
Wow. When you're in these positions, have you ever got a position where you've gone, I actually don't know how to get you out of this mess? And then is that where the benefits of a larger organisation you're in? Do these things crop up?
Absolutely. Absolutely, all the time. And having the ability to discuss these through with McKinley Plowman and the staff within McKinley Plowman is just fantastic. So one of the things that we've introduced in the not too distant past is something called Life Plan. So we look at where our clients are today and we look at what their goals are when they retire. Now there's this gap. So how do we fill this gap to get you to where you want to be? And one of the things we're keen about is we don't want to see our clients at the end of the Centrelink line. We want to make sure our clients are well funded and well retired so that they can afford to go and do the things they want. Wow.
For yourself, so how long have you been a specialist in this area again?
15 years.
15 years, goodness me.
Nearly 20 years. It's been a couple.
It's been a few. What is it that drives you? I meet people like yourself and you've still got the passion, you've still got the drive, that sparkle gets in your eye and you go, oh, this is exciting. What is it that keeps you going?
Sure. Well, look, it's a couple of things. Everybody's different. Number one, I've never met 2 clients that are the same. And the advice could be varied. At the moment, I'm dealing with a client who's got Centrelink issues. So he's gone and started to draw a Centrelink pension, not realising what his actual assets are in relation to the assets test. So we've just sat down and advised him, look, we think there's an issue. This is how we go about fixing it. So we've mapped out what his next 12 months will look like for him. We've put in simple, relatable English so he can understand. And then we've gone behind the scenes to work with the people that need to be worked with and the outcome's going to be great for him. So we're able to fix this for him without it being such a massive problem that it could have become.
Wow. For yourself, when you're running 3 teams, and you've got the estate planning, which I see is one of your passions. I'll get to that in a moment. How do you balance that? There's going to be lots of business people looking. They wear multiple hats. They're going, yeah, I get that. That's me too. How does someone like yourself balance that? How do you switch the gears?
That's a really good question. Again, it's long hours.
Right.
Nothing comes easy.
Yeah.
And if it's one thing that I've learned is if you want something, no one's ever going to go and give it to you. You've got to go and get it. Again, for me, it's about the end result. And I like seeing the end result. And I like to see that this is where we started.
Yeah.
This is where we are today. This is where we're going to finish. That for me is why I kind of get up and help my clients. Managing the 3 teams, it's about managing priorities. And those could be, this needs to be done today. We know it needs to be done today. So let's get on and get it done today.
You talk about teams. I know there's business owners out there looking to put employees on or contractors on. How do you select the right people for your team that matches your values and your ethos?
It's funny that you say that. As a practice, we have a set of values, and it's something that we, as all senior staff, and it's top to bottom, we like our senior staff to have the same values, or at least high-level alignment to our core values. And from there, we like to model those values to our staff. We don't expect our staff to have immediate take-up of those values, but if we model those values and we live those values, surely at some point, there's some form of take-up from the staff. We don't get perfect staff members. There's no such thing. We build perfect staff members, and it takes a lot of time. One of my staff members now is fantastic, but I look at her growth over the last 18 months. Where she's gone from and to is off the charts.
Wow.
So it's about building her. It's about helping her achieve what her goals are. So come talk to me about what you want to do, and let's work out the best way for you to get there as well.
Do you think that because you're someone that loves helping your clients grow and prosper and secure them, is that one of your values when you go and you employ someone, you're looking and saying, okay, that's who you are today, and are you analysing yourself and going to them, I can take from here to here, and that is part of what you actually want to do?
Absolutely.
Grow them?
Absolutely. One of the things that I'm mindful of is we're never going to be able to keep a staff member for the rest of their life. Gone are the days where you join the bank at 16, you retire at 65.
Got a gold watch.
Yeah, you get a gold watch and off you go into retirement.
Yeah.
There's a lifeline. If we can keep a staff member 3 years, we're really happy with that. If we can keep a staff member 10 years, we're ecstatic. So
I've got to ask you, what's your average lifespan of a staff member with you guys?
In my team, it's as long as they want to be there.
Wow.
Really.
Yeah.
I can say hand on heart,
yes.
I've never lost a staff member I didn't want to lose. So I'll let you work out what that actually means.
Yeah.
So, but realistic, what does it kind of mean for me and what does it mean for them? At some point, they're going to want to go off and do something different.
Yeah.
I want to be sure that I've given them all of the skills that I possibly can, so that when they go off and start doing it, they can do it for themselves. That they have the same knowledge that I've got, and they can start applying it as well.
So when a client meets you for the first time and meets your team, what's it like? Because I know there'd be a few business owners out there and they're going, look, I'm in that quandary. Do I need super? Do I need estate planning? And then they look at an accounting firm and they see a famous name like McKinley, and nerves may set in and they go, oh, I don't know what this will be like. I've got to go through these big doors. And what is it like for a customer the first time?
Sure, I think if I can just talk about what's it like for us for the first time as well.
Yeah.
It's nervous as well. We get nervous about meeting clients for the first time. It's not just the clients coming in. So one of the best things about our practice is we don't have to be the smartest person in the room. So we can allow our clients to be that person and help us understand what they want. And it's a bit like, tell us what you want to do and we'll help you map that to get to your goals. Part of that internally is what I mean by being the smartest person in the room is I don't know anything about finance. I go to a finance broker, come and help us, and we can do that. I don't know much about asset structuring, so we go and get a specialist in that area. So again, it's about being able to offer a client a full and complete service without it being overwhelming and without it being unrelatable.
Yeah. So someone who wanted to approach you now is going, they may have an accountant, they may not, or they may be in that quandary of going, circumstances are changing. How do they actually, what's the best approach to someone like yourself?
Sure. Put your affairs in order, and if you can't, come and see us. Let us help you put your affairs in order. Then work out, what do you want to do? What do you actually really, at the core of it, want to do? If that's your business, you want to grow your business to double in the next 5 years, let's help you work through that. If that's make better net profit, come to us, we'll help you work with that. If that's I want to employ more staff, come to us, we'll help you with that. I want to borrow to buy more property, come to us, we'll help you with that.
And I guess when people are looking at that, for the people who are struggling and going, I need someone to help me work through those decisions, is that something that you help people with as well?
So again, I come back to my earlier comment on life plan.
Yeah.
Our life plan service is, again, it's a collaborative environment where all of the senior team work together. So heads of departments come together. The client, we've met with the client, we've gone through a questionnaire about who you are, what you want, how you want to do it. And collaboratively, all of the teams work together to say, I can help that person with that part of the structure. I can help this person do that. And as a team of senior staff, each with our areas of expertise, we assist our clients in, it could be one small thing like, let's look at your borrowing, let's see if we can reduce your rate. That could be a saving of 5 or 10 grand a year to an average client.
That life planning, I've met quite a few accountancy firms. That seems something different. It seems something that would be unexpected in an accountancy practice. It's
something that as the senior partners in the practice have worked really hard on getting this through. Again, it's not about transactions, it's about relationships. And explaining to our clients that we're your accountants for life. We're not your accountants for today or tomorrow. We're your accountants for life. And part of our life plan is, we see where you are today, let's get you to where you want to be when you retire.
Why have you done that? I mean, someone's watching and goes, yeah, it sounds great, but why would an accountancy practice go, this is important to us, this is what we want to deliver?
Because we think it's important for our clients. It's not just important for us, it's important for our clients. And it allows all of our teams within our practice to be able to deliver something that's quite simple, really, and that's working together to provide the very best outcome for the client. Whereas the client would normally, if they went to a practice and weren't aware of this, would have to rely on the accountants driving the relationships to identify the missing pieces. So you need to go and talk to your finance broker, or you need to talk to a financial planner, or you need self-managed superannuation. These things are often missed in the not wanting to share my relationship. So it's not about empire building, it's about I want to share my relationship.
Yeah, fantastic. Someone watching, Ian, what's the best way of contacting yourself?
So our website is mckinleyplowman.com.au or ian.gath@mckinleyplowman.com.au is my email address, or you can contact us on 08 9301 2200.
Absolutely fantastic. I really appreciate your time today. I know you're busy, especially it is this time of year in Australia.
Thank you.
So I really appreciate you coming in. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers.